So I will leave it to you four to discuss.
I think Baloran was looking for some sort of clerical teleportation magic rather than spending 3 days on foot or horseback or whatever it was. I think that was his intention. I don't know whether it would have worked, but I don't mind if we just start heading out of town.
I think he was looking for validation for was this the right thing to do on the trip, kind of like augury.
I don't know,
Um,
maybe.
Jake, I've seen him handle a situation where we have a split party, but also differences in time as well. He does a really good job with that and stitches it together. Maybe you could still have Baloran do his trip to the temple next week. That's slightly in the past, and he catches up to the party. So he didn't. I know he wanted to. I mean, if he still wants to, you could arc him off there, and we just head out and go to the
Yeah,
camp or whatever.
I'm down for whatever you guys want to do. My understanding was that he wanted to go get some augury, and find out whether the path was the right path or not. But he's not here. Baloran was like, "I'm gonna go get some augury," and then he just dipped and he said, "I'll meet up with you all later," and then he dipped. So it's up to you for if you want to follow him to the temple, if you want to do something else in town, if you want to just hit the road and start walking.
Maybe we can do a flashback next week where we all go to the temple on the way out of town rather than him
No, no,
kind
no,
of
no, no, no. You're either gonna go to the temple with him right now, or you're gonna leave town. He could have a separate thing going on, like David explained, which is something that I do often, but we're not gonna all flash back and go to the temple together. You four, you're gonna make a decision about what you want to do, and then we're gonna do that. As to what I'm gonna do with the DMing part, I will come up with that.
I had said last week I would support Bellerin in his trip to the temple, but him not being here, I would let's just go to camp is my vote.
I feel the same.
It was fated so by Jaith, and now it is going to happen. So yes, I am supportive of this plan.
sure.
All right. So, is there anything that you all want to do in town before you take off?
Uh, just a above the table question. How do we do travel? Do we have to? Are we gonna? Well, I guess we'll find out later. I would like to. I kind of want to buy something. I don't know if there's a store, like a general store. I'm just on the way out of town. Just buy a supply. It's not.
Yeah, there are a couple different shopping districts. So we could either role play visiting the shopping district, going to the various stores. But if you have a couple mundane items that you need,
Yeah, it's just a tool.
what do you
that
need?
I didn't.
What would you like to buy?
I want to buy some painter's supplies. Eva, she just wants to get like some watercolors and a little sketchbook.
Great. There's no reason you couldn't buy that.
Okay.
Way out of town. Couple silver, something.
Well, painter supplies is 10 gold. But I don't think I need the full, I'm not looking for an easel. And I'm not looking to do a trade or a craft. It's more of like a tie-in with something else. But and I'm not doing any ability checks. So yeah, I'm fine, with like 25 silver. No, wait, no, that's way too much. Couple silver, yeah.
All right. You've got your dice. So you're gonna roll a D100 in there, or I guess you've got a visual system going. So
I gave up on that. It was too much work to turn the camera on every time.
all right, so roll me a D100 in the dice, and that'll be how much silver your art kit costs, and it will also be the percentage of awesome from 0 to 100 that it will be.
Is that the 1D10X?
You roll 2 of them, so like there's one on top of the other.
So
There's a tens place and a
2D10X?
ones place.
No, that doesn't seem right. Hold on.
If you're looking at the picture of them,
I think it'll roll them together.
But I have to roll a D10 and a 10X, right?
Yep.
Okay. So like that. 14.
Sure. Why don't you roll one more time? We'll take the higher of the two, just so you don't buy like a pencil. 38. All right. So you buy a pretty basic and simple kit for 38 silver. If you wanted watercolors, you can totally find that. But it's pretty simple and
Yeah, that's fine.
just a little bit of stuff. So
What
you
about
get that
healer's kit?
healer's kit. You can definitely grab that for the player's manual price.
5 gold. I will add that to my inventory. Thank you. And then I like how you said that above the table question. This trip out, have we identified if we're walking or if there's any transport available? And the reason I'm asking is I actually, I have an odd proficiency, which, oh, no, never mind. Scratch that. It's water vehicles, not land vehicles. Yeah, are we just walking or have we identified what our mode of transportation?
I don't think we
Well-
have discussed or even tried to look for anything. I think we all just started walking and
How far out
Um,
of town is it?
So to Krinthatala, it's a couple of days walk, but it's a village, so there might be like maybe we can find like a farmer on his way, or
I would prefer to ride my horse Bolero, which is stabled with the Anaranjado family, and perhaps they would all lend us horses for the party.
So you guys want to go visit the Anaranjado family?
Sure.
yep.
Unless that majorly derails the session for tonight, and then I'm cool with whatever.
It doesn't derail anything. I will need a minute or two to take some notes. So I'm going to take those 2 minutes.
Alrighty.
I'll be honest though, this music freaks me out a little bit because I got an air unit in the other room. And every so often, if you're listening to the music, it does like a high pitched squeal. And I was like, is my air unit going out? Like, no.
That sounds expensive. God damn it.
For real.
I got concerned. I don't know if you guys noticed me once or twice going like this, and then I realized music.
I might do that as well. I took the dog out earlier and I saw thunder and lightning off in the distance, and it was starting to rain. And he's a 50-pound pit bull, but if there's any thunder, he turns into like just a puddle of shivering jelly. And he comes into the office because there's no windows in the office, so I have a blanket down behind my chair that.
The picture behind you is there some kind of Christmas lights on that, or is it?
Yeah.
What, am I seeing something?
I got some like hanging lights on the wall.
Oh, that's really cool. No, I like that. I can tell you, I like your. That looks like a Rode microphone next to you. I can.
What is
an
it? A
antique-
blue Yeti something? I've had it for a
Is it
while.
Yeti? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It is the Yeti. Has the that pop screen on it is similar to like a Rode.
Yeah.
It's interesting. No, I like your setup. It's cool.
That was like that, like 2-week period where I thought, oh, I'm gonna stream whatever game I'm playing on Twitch, and that lasted for about 2 weeks.
That's a pain.
That's a boring.
That's a boring pain. Oh, grappling.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the idea of grappling is twofold. Okay, you're right. It doesn't make you immune to attacks, but grappling, what it does is remove their movement speed to 0. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is shove them. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you shove them, it costs half their movement speed to get up.
Yep.
But if they have no movement speed, they can't get up. So grappled and prone is
They can't get
where
up.
it's, and they're then you're attacking with melee attacks at advantage, and they're
Yes.
attacking at disadvantage, and they're fucked until they can break the grapple.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the action there.
And I did figure
But they
that out
can
eventually.
still attack back.
With
At disadvantage. Yeah. So
Right,
grappling by itself, from what I pictured in my head, where I'm like
Yeah.
grabbing their arms behind their back, doesn't do squat.
Yeah,
can
they just turn
still
out beat the shit out
around,
of you.
pull both of their swords out, and slice you to pieces. But grappling and prone means they can't get up. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. That's the action there.
Exactly.
All right. So back to the game where y'all have decided to visit the house Anaranjado for horses, and where my little city map at? There we go, city map. Get you guys all tantalized with the city map. Share the screen here. Here we go. All right. So you all were just carousing at the towering cave in the chop, and you all were talking about going to get some auguries, but ultimately Baloran just slunk away, saying he was going to handle that by himself, and that he wanted to commune with his god by himself for now, and that he would catch up with you all in a little bit. And so that left you standing in the street wondering what to do next. You all went shopping and bought some stuff, and then decided that you were ready to get going. However, Luz said, "Hey, I want my horse," and told you maybe the Anaranjado family would let you borrow horses too. So you set out from shopping in the chop shopping, passed through the Broken Plowshare area, the Travelers District, where all the different more mainstream taverns are, not where the cool kids hang out in the chop. And you headed into the Nobles Quarter, where many of the nobles live, past the blue layer cake houses of the Desron family, which surround a tiled courtyard reminiscent of some kind of massive Venice or Paris piazza, and past the Mussover family with their meadow that feels perfect for skeet shooting, and their red compound of red homes. And you came upon the Anaranjado compound, the family originally from Rocinante, which has now been part of this country for a long time. And Luz led you there. You came upon the black and red and gold homes, which are laid out like almost Italian villas around rolling hills. There are grapevines, and just feels very Mediterranean. It's almost like you're suddenly in a different part of the city with different weather, but maybe that's just how it feels there at the Anaranjado compound. And unlike some of the other houses, there's not a huge formal gate with lots of guards. But there are people out and about sort of eyeing your group until they see Luz, and then nobody interrupts you as Luz heads to the main home at which she is staying, which houses the high seat of the Anaranjado family, as well as many other members, and has the stables behind it. with fine thoroughbreds from across the land, which have been bred to support noble tastes. And Luce, where are you leading us?
Well, as we're walking sort of in and we're going past those rolling fields, do we see any horses just sort of out to pasture, or are they all in stables?
Currently, they are in stables.
All right, okay. I'm just gonna, as we're walking, I'm just gonna tell the group, I'm just gonna say, kind of embarrassed. Look, these are friends of mine. I'd rather not talk about it, but maybe just follow my lead and don't ask too many questions, okay?
Before we, I mean, I'm all for your plan. You know, I would rather not spend the next 3 days walking. I do have a confession to make, though. I've never actually been on a horse.
Oh, yes, that could complicate things for sure.
So
Well, that's all right. We'll
if we maybe, I mean, these all look pretty big. Maybe we can, double up or something like that.
perhaps we can find you a little pony or something, an old little horse that won't throw you off.
As long as I can keep up, that sounds great.
I think there is a little pony named Dapple that would be just right for you.
So, you're heading up to the main house?
Yes.
So you head up there, and you are met at the door by Ivan Jurado, who is the family's major domo, and he greets you and asks. It says, "Oh, I am so surprised to see you back so soon. I thought you were going to, get away for a while. Who are these friends of yours?"
I just point to the glowing orb on my shoulder and say, well, it appears that I have been recruited on some business for the Queen, and these are my friends who will be helping me. I'm afraid I can't say much more than that. Pero we find ourselves in need of some horses, and I was hoping that perhaps I could ask the High Seat if we could borrow a few for my friends.
Oh, yes, Lord Hector, of course. Let me see if he is available to speak with you. You can. I can also look for Esperanza if you want.
No need to bother Esperanza.
Okay, please come with me. You know where your rooms are. I will see if Hector is available, Lord Hector. And so Jurado brings you into the foyer, which is decorated in a similar way with lots of black and red and gold. And there are a couple servants passing in and out of the foyer. There is a gold fountain with a little bit of a pool under it in the center of the foyer, and so Ivan disappears for a moment, and y'all are standing in this foyer with the trickling water and some velvet paintings that are rather ostentatious, and the whole place feels very rich and passionate in its decor.
Now this is how you decorate a noble house. No? I forgot the names of the folks that we stayed with. What were their names? Mussover.
Mm-hmm.
Not like those musovers.
Are the servants carrying anything? Walking from room to room?
Yeah, somebody's carrying a pitcher and some water. Someone else is carrying a tray of food.
I'm definitely gonna snag some food.
Uh,
Or at least try.
the person will jerk back from you and say, "Oh, lo siento, es comida para el jefe. Lo siento." If you want to try to grab it anyway, you can roll sleight of hand to see if you can get it away from them.
Nah,
Luna, perhaps we should not steal from Lord Hector before we ask him for horses. No.
no, she's not gonna try to go any further than that. She is gonna poof up a little bit and just be like, just kind of pouty a little bit about it. But she'll definitely stay to the back part of the group during all of this.
And another servant coming through is like an older lady, and she looks at you all and she says, "Oh, lo siento mucho. Es que if we knew you were coming in a big group, we would have prepared for you. I'm so sorry. Please, lo siento." And then she disappears in the hallway.
Be like, claro, está bien, está bien.
So yeah, some time passes with you waiting in the hallway. Let me get a little foyer music. You gotta have some foyer music, you know.
Have like elevator music in the hallway.
So after some time, um, the major domo Iban comes back and says, I am very sorry, Luz. Don Hector is currently in a meeting. It will be another hour. He sends his regrets and of course his love for his beloved family.
Oh, yes, very kind. I do not wish to disturb him. We can simply borrow the horses and bring them back. We will not take anything valuable. Just perhaps some stock horses.
The major domo kind of blanches when you say that. And just as he makes that face, it was like, this
That was a good. Can we see that again? Just
Yeah, I missed it.
just for the recording.
And screenshot.
It was great.
Too late. Lightning only strikes
Damn
once.
it.
If only we were recording this and uploading this to a website.
That's right. That's right.
Like had videos.
One day,
on it,
20 years from now. So
We'll take a screenshot and all of us will wear your face on our shirts.
So as he says that to you, as he makes that face, this young lady,
Which face?
I didn't see one.
This young lady swoops in from the other room and from one of the hallways, and she is absolutely beautiful, very young, early 20s, dark hair, dark eyes, slender form. Think Jasmine from Aladdin if she worked out, and she's got gold bangles, all sorts of jewelry and bangles and flowing cloaks, and she swoops in and says, "Ah, Luz, it is so good to see you." And Luz, you recognize that this is Esperanza.
Oh, Esperanza, it is very good to see you as well.
Who is the daughter of Don Hector, and she says, hello. Oh, look at this beautiful group. Oh, wow. I have not seen a GIF since my last time going to Rocinante. Mucho gusto, Senor GIF. And she looks at Luna and she says, oh, what a very interesting woman. Yes, hello. Well, how can we help all of you here in House Anaranjado? Any friend of Luz is una amiga de mí.
Well, we were actually just here to ask your father if we could borrow just a few ponies, a few horses. None of his prized thoroughbreds, of course, but we are on the Queen's business, and my friends they would not like to have to walk too far.
Oh, qué graciosa. Ya sabes que todas nuestras caballas son muy buenas caballas, ¿eh? We
I
don't have
see.
any little baby horses or pulling the carts horses. All of our horses are for racing and for battle and for destroying the enemy. The best horses. Yes, very expensive horses that we breed. You know, we are very proud of the rippling muscles of our beautiful breeding horses, of which you own one.
Yes, they are quite impressive. That is true. But okay, perhaps there
I
is
would
luck.
worry about putting this GIF on one of our fabulous horses that he might smoosh it.
You're correct. It would be. I wouldn't want to injure them, so perhaps I should walk along the way. But I just wanted to comment how lovely you looked in your workout attire. You know, Lululemon is a wonderful brand, and I think you look very fetching in your athletic gear.
He has no idea what you're talking about. She's wearing flowing robes, so she's very confused. But she loves your limon reference. So she looks at you all and says, you know, I am sorry, but the horses are worth as much as some people's houses in the noble quarters. To see four of them go on an adventure such as this, who knows what you are up to, Luce? Yes, I see that all of you are on the Queen's business. Will you be riding the horses into danger?
Oh no, just to get from point A to point B. Perhaps the servants have some horses that can pull a carriage to bring supplies in and out of the estate. That we could borrow the carriage, the wagon, and the horses. We could put the GIF on the wagon.
Qué
And
graciosa.
we
Qué
promise
graciosa.
we'll be very, very careful with them and return them even in better shape than you lent them to us.
¿Qué chistes que haces? ¿Crees que los sirvientes tienen caballos?
I feel like I'm the only person here who doesn't speak Spanish, so Eva is just like, I have no idea what she's saying, which is great.
It is the point. All right, Ava. Ava, roll persuasion, and Luce, you roll persuasion as well.
Maybe I can help Luce on his roll if that helps.
Nah, let's get two separate rolls.
Okay.
Well, despite my +5 in persuasion, I rolled a nat 1.
And I got a dirty 20.
You got +8 to persuasion.
I do.
That's great. So she looks at Luce. She looks at Luce and says, "Hey, Luce, I know you love danger. It would be terrible to take one of our horses into danger and lose her to a battle. You know, like I said, they are worth more than most nobles' houses. But you," and she looks at Ava, "there is something very trustworthy about you. I feel that you have some kind of religious seriousness about you, that you would put this horse's life before yours. Is that the truth?"
I wouldn't want to see anything happen to the horses. The other thing to keep in mind is that we are on official business for the Queen, and should you assist us, I'm sure the good Queen Effie would be very delighted to hear of your assistance in this matter.
Queen Effie? I only know of Queen Aoife. What do you mean?
That was my attempt at really bad Spanish.
She says,
Oh, they are close friends. It is her nickname for her.
she says, I think the queen would understand if we do not give out all of our best horses to be chopped at by goblins or whatever your group is going to do. But if I have your word, mysterious religious lady with markings on her face, that you will give your life before you let the horse die, then maybe we have something to talk about.
And just above the table, this woman went on and on about how their horses are bred for battle, and now she's like, "Oh no, they can't be facing any goblins." And I'm like, "Okay, I promise you, nothing bad will happen to your horses."
She says very passionately and aggressively, "That is not what I said. I
Wait,
said
what did you, I don't. There's
that
been
you
a
will
translation
give your
error.
life before
Lose.
anything happens to the horse.
I will give your life before anything happens to the horse.
Give my life." And then she looks at Luz and says,
My Spanish
"Who
is very
this
rusty.
lady? Has she no respect?" And
It
he
is
says,
great.
I am about to challenge you to a duel, lady.
This is how gringos go to jail in Mexico, isn't it?
Amiga, comment. This lady is Eva. She is a mysterious and as you said, very trustworthy individual. She
She's
means
also
you
very
no
clean
offense.
smelling.
Yes, and very clean smelling. And you are correct. The markings on her face are a symbol of her religious devotion, and of course, she will take good care of the horses. But I am somewhat offended, my dear friend, because you know me. You know my feeling for horses and for taking good care of them. And of course, no one understands as well as me what wonderful horse breeding you have here. And I would never ask you to give up your horses for anything other than the most important. I don't know. Sorry, guys. It's late at night. I can't think of words.
No, you're
Doing
doing
great.
great.
Yeah, just keep riffing.
The most important of errands.
All right, I'm gonna get an intimidation roll from Ava for bringing up the queen, and a persuasion roll from Luce, and these will be the last attempts. Let's see what happens.
Here we go. Let's see. Do I have? Do I have inspiration? Because I might need it if I roll crappy. Oh my goodness! Can I use inspiration on that?
You can, yes.
There it is, 21.
And I got why does that?
So you rolled very well with your intimidation, and we got a high persuasion roll. So Esperanza pulls a long dagger out of her voluminous robes, and she leans towards Ava, and she says, "I am inclined to trust you for some strange reason, but I must have your word in blood that you will give your life before harm comes to this horse."
I don't think Ava likes that.
I'm just gonna whisper. She's just very passionate. It's fine. Just promise. Just promise.
Yeah, but she wants to cut me.
Esperanza, would it be all right if I gave my word in my blood on behalf of Eva here?
No, you already have a horse. We need her word. I need her word, or I will not help you. And Luce, cousin.
But I'm sorry, madame. Could I? I am you. We have not yet met, and you are correct. I am a gift, but I am off. I am your neighbor from your. I am your neighbor from your homelands in Canyamo. And would it be acceptable if I was to give my word that I would give my life before such
No, it is
danger
too
would
late.
befell to horse?
I
It
will
is too
give my
late.
word, but if you come any closer with that dagger, we're gonna have more than my word.
Oh dear.
Okay, we're gonna
Oh, this
start
is a
an
problem.
official legal duel.
Oh dear.
Well,
me
I
get
can't
the,
let her cut me. I mean, come on.
Oh dear.
She
Let me
wanted
get
my
the
blood.
dueling rules out.
Wait, between all of us?
Nope. Between
Okay.
Eva
I'm
and
afraid it is out of our hands now, my friends.
Mhm.
It's
So,
like,
just to be clear,
Eva,
as
vaya
you-
con Dios.
just to be clear, as you read in the player guide, we can't have everybody try to pass the same check.
sure, but just to be clear, the way you were phrasing it, she wanted a blood oath.
Mhm.
I want to avoid the misconception we had with the dwarves. She actually wanted to cut me with her dagger and draw blood.
So you are in a country where dueling is legal, and
I know that
you
about
are-
the house. Absolutely. I just wanted to make sure before I said that her intention was to cut me with that dagger.
So I will explain it to you. You're in a country where dueling is legal, and you're visiting a family of nobles who love dueling
Yeah,
and
no, I'm aware.
hot-blooded and passionate.
Yep.
So this lady has asked you for your word, and you have avoided giving her your word 3 times.
No, that's not no. She asked for my word and my blood, and I said I would give my word, but I do not want her
Well,
to cut me with her dagger.
At this point, based on what you've said to her, she is initiating a duel.
That's fine.
And I'm going to share with you the official dueling rules of a legal duel in Elenia Toth, because she is going to use her once a year duel on you.
Oh, but I've already used mine this year. Oh, the rules, they just they get in the way sometimes.
All right, I need a minute to set this up, so I'm going to
Sure.
put this on mute so I can read and think.
Yeah. I couldn't let her cut me. I mean, that.
If it's in character, I find it fascinating. To be honest,
Oh, well, yeah, like
like that would be like I know that
she's been in jail for 3 days. She's trying to keep a low profile in the city, and this woman wants to cut her with her dagger. I don't think Eva would be like, yeah, sure. Here's my hand.
I totally see that in character. Some
Yeah.
characters
Oh, yeah.
would never want that type of, like, even if you're class like Blood Hunter or something like that. I don't know still don't know what class you are, but I think in character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In character, I think this is great. I mean, I don't think you're trying to like metagame or do goofy shit out of character. I think you're playing your character.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Jake is also playing his character.
Oh, yeah, and that's fine.
So
I just wanted to make sure if I end up. Oh,
and if this shit was ever going to happen, it was going to happen in a hot-blooded Spanish house. So
Yeah. I just
I honestly, I probably should have seen that coming before I recommended this.
It was building, though. It was. You know what? This is just one of those things that happens in D&D when 2 people are playing their character to the hilt.
Yeah.
Don't own this. Own the situation. Don't worry about it.
No friends or family. Use some magic. Okay. Automatic loss. Duel. Okay. Death is possible. Neither participant can move. Roll for initiative. Attack once in your turn with a rapier or dagger. The weapon must be main. Does it have to be a rapier or dagger? Well, it's in the rules.
But also remember this. I think that from what Jake was telling us in last session, the last couple of sessions, this is at the crux of
all right
the world events of the dueling. So this in character, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And we should totally blame Kyle for not saying this coming.
Absolutely. I'm fully in support of that. This is
Here's
fault.
my thing though is Allison has had 0 spotlight so far, so we need to work her back
No,
into the story. So
it's completely fine. She's standing in the back of the group looking at the fountain, being like, is that gold? That's so last season. Like, just annoyed that she's in somewhere that is super fancy and she just does not like that. So she seems a little peeved at just being somewhere super fancy and is just kind of extra poofy, just on guard.
So Esperanza looks at you, Ava, and says, I do not like this woman. I will use my one duel per year on you. And she holds out her hand, and a servant comes running in and places a rapier in it, hilt first. And she says, and now you will see the ways of our land and why you must not disrespect a woman who is offering you a favor. And
just to be clear, Esperanza, when I win this duel, you're going to give us the horses.
she is dueling you because she's mad at you.
Okay.
So there are specific rules which I've posted in the chat.
Yep.
No friends or family may interfere in any way, or it is an automatic loss. Use of magic or feats, special attacks, rage, etc., automatic loss. You're dueling to incapacitation, no yielding, or it's a loss. Death is possible. And neither participant can move. If you're interested in where this came from, check out German academic dueling, which is part of the inspiration for this whole campaign, actually. But German academic dueling, where they stood toe to toe and slashed at each other, pretty crazy.
DM, can the combatants have someone stand in for them?
No,
and I can't help from the sidelines, but I can't. Okay.
There are rules that I'm reading that involve y'all taking the help action.
Yes, I see that.
But let's have you go ahead and roll initiative, please, Ava.
Well, sorry, before we start, I'm going to pull out my dagger, and I'm like, surely you don't intend to fight me with a sword while I'm armed with a dagger. And does anyone have a rapier I can borrow?
Luce will draw her rapier and turn it hilt toward you and bow and present it to you. And say, buena suerte, mi amiga.
Thank you, good sir. I will try not to damage your...
I am a woman, but yes, you're
Oh, thank you very much, Luz. I will, try not to cut her up too bad.
And she is the favorite daughter of Sir Don Hector, so try not to kill her, please.
A servant runs in with a golded hilted rapier to attempt to give it to Ava, but then sees that Luce has given the rapier, and the servant leaves. Because these people are all about dueling.
There's
yes.
my initiative. Sorry.
I'm sorry, this is my misunderstanding of reading the rules, but it says that friends and families cannot interfere, but then there's crowd help, which is are you meaning like they can't step in, but they can shout?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't cast a spell or anything like that, is what I assume.
Sorry.
So just to review the rules, we've rolled for initiative, so you're gonna go first. You can attack once on your turn. You have the ability to block on your turn with a D4, basically adding a bane to your opponent's roll. You can do one special block per duel, where you can add 1d6 to your block one time. And you can also do one special attack per duel. And you're dueling to incapacitation. Now, each one of your friends may take the help action once during the fight, either imposing advantage on you or discouragement on the other. And this will be role played. So friends of the fighters, choose your one interaction wisely. And so Esperanza points the rapier at you and says, you will respect a woman in her own house. nameless lady with drawings on your face. What is her name?
Eva.
Eva. Eva. Let us fight.
You know, I really wish you just would have given us the horses.
She says, you cannot speak to me this way in my own home. Now stand and fight. And you have the first go, Ava.
If I must, and yeah, so I will, you know, holding Luz's rapier. I guess we're just like standing 5 feet apart, just swinging at each other. So I'll take a swing. I'll try and avoid the face. She's got a very pretty face. Oh, that's not good. That's a 7.
She immediately comes back at you with her rapier, attempting to go at you, and she misses as well. Please roll again.
Okay, I'm gonna keep. Okay, so it's just +4. Oh, 23.
A hit, a palpable hit. Will she use her special block here? Let me see. Where is it? There it is. She's gonna use her normal block. So what was that in total? A 19 plus 5?
4.
24 to hit?
19 plus 4 is a 23.
Okay. Well, she'll try to block it first. And you said a 23, so that takes it down to 20 with her block. And then she's not going to use her special block. So she takes it as she was lunging towards you with her rapier in her foyer with the golden fountain sparkling. You rush forward at her with her rapier, piercing her side, and roll damage with a D8, please.
8 plus 2. That's
3
not good.
damage. She dances back and says, but a pinprick. Ni estoy herido. Herida. And she,
You know, you can give up at any point. Actually, I
she
don't think
laughs
they
in
can.
your face. Ha ha ha! I live for blood. And she comes at you again, attempting to skewer you. But she misses. Perhaps she is slightly more hurt than she thought. Please roll back at her.
Well,
yes, and remember, you get 1 special hit per duel where you can roll a d6 and add it to it. So that is a 16, yes? Or no, it's a 12. So that will not hit. So and you just tell me if you want to use your thing, and then the people that are watching, you can, of course, tell me if you want to impose advantage or disadvantage before the rolls. She is rolling back at you. And she misses too. Please take your shot.
I'm gonna say, puedes hacerlo, Eva.
Roll with advantage as your friend takes up your side. Another hit.
2 18s.
As you yell this out, Luz, Esperanza looks at you with squinty eyes and says, Traidora. Roll damage.
I'm just toying with her at this point. I'm just toying with you.
She dances back again, a little bit of blood trickling down her side, and says, ha ha ha, that is all you have. And just then a servant runs in and yells, Aslo, Esperanza, and bolsters her so she can roll with advantage. And finally, a hit on the lady. Yes?
I will use my reaction to block. So what'd she get? Sorry, I missed that. 30, 20?
Yeah, it's a 20 plus something to hit.
Oh. Then no, I'll just take it.
All right. Only where was this? Only 4 damage for you. She sort of looks embarrassed that she didn't hurt you more, and she says, I will teach you to insult me in my home. Come, try again to hit me. And
No.
you will miss, and she comes back at you. And I'm gonna do a critical fumble just for fun. She trips and hurts herself a little bit, and then picks herself back up and tries to act like nothing happened. And she says, the dancing grace of my people is known far and wide. I'm fainting.
Perhaps my lady needs a rest.
Oh, now I am even more angry at you.
I was trying to. Well, yeah, okay, it was a little facetious. 18.
Okay, I'm rolling a d4 on that. Ooh, all right. She takes it. Roll your damage. 6. She's looking kind of bloody right now. As you take her again, and she looks around at the group and says, how can you all insult a woman in the foyer of her home? Is anybody doing or saying anything during this dramatic situation?
Mechanically, I can't, but I mean, I would certainly role play it. Like, you asked for this, Esperanza.
And she's like, you are
Did
right. Our
did not
people
have to be
are
like
not
this.
one to back down. And she kisses her rapier. She says, I will fill it with the blood of this woman. And she goes at you once more. And misses. Please roll back at her. Oh my God, another hit. Let me try to block that. She swoops her rapier around, attempting to pull it out of the way. It's still not enough. She decides to use her special block as she yells out, con el poder de los 10 dioses, and swoops it. And actually manages to
Is
block
it too late to add my special attack?
And push it out of the way? No, you can do that.
Okay, and so that's a 1d6. Because I'm kind of. So what was that? It was an 18 plus 3, I think.
Yeah, so she tries to block it normally, that doesn't work, and then she kind of does this little dance and says, con el poder de los 10 dioses, and she starts spinning the sword like she's going to pull it to the side, but instead of getting caught up in that swirl, you just plunge all the way through the swirl and stab her right in the belly. Roll damage.
Oh, okay, so that was my one special attack. So that would do another 4.
4 damage, and she is looking messed up, but she shouts out, duels are to the incapacitation. I will not yield, you strange woman. And she tries to stab you again. This time probably hitting. Unless you want...
Let me do my special block. Take 2 off.
All right. And
so that puts her at
still
17
right?
Minus whatever her plus was, right?
It's still a hit, but you also have your D4 if you want to do that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That is a miss. So you both used your special blocks, but she hasn't used her special attack yet.
And I used my special attack, I think, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You had to push the last one through.
Yes.
All right, so she misses, and you're up.
Okay.
She blocks that one. Now, just for inclusion's sake, what is Luna up to during this duel?
Well, Luna was gonna shout out a minute ago, but then rolls were made, and I was like, no, I don't want to change it if rolls have already been made. But after her comment about into incapacitation, she would have been like, "You seem like a lightweight," just to insult, possibly give her disadvantage.
And what's Cyrus up to?
Cyrus is taken aback by this whole thing. Really, we've come into this woman's home, and definitely translation was an issue. And the instead of the right of hospitality, we've been challenged to a duel. So it's at this moment just watching the events unfold with curiosity and it's a spectacle, really, and this is very different.
I think this is Enranjado's hospitality. I'm getting the impression that this is how they treat their guests.
And yeah, all of that is true. And it is quite a spectacle. The two people are dancing around the room, or at least Esperanza is, almost like she's at a ball, and she's loving it. Even as she gets stabbed, she's just like she's in an Herbal Essences commercial.
Is she allowed to move? I thought, why is she dancing
Well,
around?
we're both I think we have to stay within 5 feet. We're probably both moving around the room together. It's a dance.
You can't disengage. Is that what you mean by the rules, DM?
You can do a lot of dancing without moving.
Yeah.
I don't think you can, but okay.
You can do a lot of dancing without moving your feet, without leaving the space you're in.
Okay, fair.
So what just happened? Who missed who? She missed you? Or you missed her?
I don't know. Esperanza missed, yeah.
All right, roll at her.
Okay. What was that?
That was just for fun.
Oh.
Go ahead and try to stab this woman.
Nope.
You miss. Spanish woman comes at you with a rapier, dog.
No, that's a hit.
Fucking critted.
Can Luna's
give her disadvantage?
Yeah, can Luna's
We have
comment
to
now
do it before we roll. Well, sorry.
What about
But
Luna?
did,
Luna
though.
gave disadvantage.
She was trying to say something there, Jake. I think there's a line ball here. She was trying to talk.
All right, so be it. I'm not looking at the screen. I'm looking at my dice. So and your dice. So I will.
Well, when you asked her what she was doing, she said she was trying to give disadvantage.
Okay. Well, that one doesn't hit. So she gets really confident and she thinks she really has you, and then you just kind of jerk your neck to the side a little bit. It just goes right by you, and it's your turn. Your roll.
Not good, guys.
So there's one friend help left for the good team. This one hits. And she's going to roll damage.
Let me roll my 1d4.
All
right.
So it's still gonna hit.
Okay.
So we're going for some damage. A delicious 7 damage for Ava.
Okay.
Goes down to 19 hit points.
Yep, she's not blooded yet.
Esperanza strikes her rapier home and says, "You see, this is how they train them in Rocinante. My cousin Luz used to know this, but now apparently she is with your family instead of ours." And she continues to fight. And it's your turn to roll.
Yeah. You don't understand, Esperanza. Luz is on a very important mission, and he could really use your help as she takes a swing. Dirty 20.
Yep, that'll hit.
for 9, but I'm gonna try and she looks pretty low, so I'm gonna try and use the hilt on her forehead and just knock her unconscious. I'm not gonna, try and bleed her out kind of thing.
Okay. So I'm just gonna rewind 30 seconds for flavor.
Sure.
So as you're going to make your next move, Hector Anaranjado steps into the second floor of the foyer and looks down at the battle, and he sort of claps his hands and he says, Esperanza, you are using your one duel on this person in our foyer? And Esperanza looks up at him with blood on her, and she says, she wanted our horses, but she would not give blood oath to give her life before theirs. And Hector goes, hay que matarla. And Esperanza smiles and turns back to you with her sword, ready to fight more. And that's when you, if you would like,
Bam, right in the forehead.
Flocking, because she's going down. You are welcome to describe her unconsciousness.
I will, so basically as she turns back from talking to her father, I'm going to just smash the hilt of the rapier into her face. And as I see like the consciousness lose from her eyes, I am going to try and catch her as she falls.
Let's roll sleight of hand. That'll be fun.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Luna has been checking out this fountain, trying to figure out if it's laced with gold. Sorry, my screen just got all crazy. If it's laced with gold or if it is solid gold.
You can roll investigation or perception on that. And I've clocked a 21 sleight of hand roll, which means that as you bop her in the head and her eyes roll back in her head and she goes to fall back, a beautiful brown-haired Spanish young lady falling towards the ground. You, Eva, swoop in and catch her the way a dancer would in a tango, and catch her with great style and grace. Luna, you can't really tell. It seems like it's solid gold, and it looks both gaudy and both gauche and expensive at the same time. And so Ava, you catch her as she falls to the floor in a beautiful dance move, and from the upper balcony where Hector is watching, he starts clapping. Brava!
With that,
sí. Que estilo! Yes, Luke?
with that sleight of hand, as I'm catching her, can I heal her 1 point to bring her?
If you're using
Yeah,
spell slot or lay on hands or something.
yeah.
Could I come over with a healing kit?
Oh, I was just going to lay on hands her for 1 point, just to bring her back to, as I catch her, her eyes can flutter open, and so she's not like, I don't want to carry her around.
Kyle, you had your hand up?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if having seen this, if the duel is technically over and I could also rush in and heal her, but
oh well, no, you guys can,
but I don't want to invalidate the duel if it's not technically over yet, so I want to make sure.
Already the duel is over, but she's already in her arms and she's already placed a hand on her and healed her for 1 hit point. So as Hector is clapping and saying, brava, you heal Esperanza for 1 point of damage, of hit points, and Esperanza's eyes pop open and she looks at you and she says, oh, what passion, what power you have within you. I am so impressed. You should clean off these markings sometime. I would like to see what you really look like. did you see this, grandfather? And Hector is like, oh
It's the
yes,
granddaughter.
what grace. Are you sure you are not from Rocinante? You look a little pale for this, but perhaps you are.
She's got a little darker skin.
Yes, we have blonde-haired and blue-eyed people in Rocinante as well. So perhaps you are Rocinante with your slightly darker skin, as you have just described. Are you from Rocinante? Is this where you learn to duel in such a way?
No, my I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know if
You're in charge of these facts, my friend.
I know, but it doesn't say. So the Maldonados, they had a Spanish vibe to them, but it doesn't say they originally came from.
The family is from Rocinante hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, hundreds of years ago. So no, she's not from Rocinante.
Well,
And she's never been to Rocinante.
genetically speaking.
Well, yeah, I mean, genetically speaking, we're all from Africa, but that
So
doesn't.
what does she say?
You know, here and there. What's that line from the Three Musketeers? Remember? Never mind.
Here and there?
Yeah, he's like, where did you learn to fight like that? And the new guy says, oh, you know, here or there. And the bad guy says, I can't remember what he says. Something like, you know, I can't remember, but definitely not here or something like that. I'll look up the video later. That's fine.
So so you say something here, there, or somewhere, and Hector continues to clap and comes downstairs and gives you a bow and says, you are so beautiful and powerful in your fight. And Esperanza jumps up from your arms and says, yes, she is a true powerful person. Luz, you brought this person into our house. Now I see why you supported her. What a strong and powerful woman. Yes, and therefore these other two people must also be amazing.
They could really use your help, Lord Hector. And I'll just kind of, I'll as she's standing up, I'll just kind of move back and let Luz take over.
Yes, you see the caliber of people that I bring to you. I would not insult your house by bringing fools in here.
And Hector looks at you all and says, so, he's like German now. So, you would all like a horse.
Sí, el guapo.
How many? So there's 6 of us. There's 6 of us, right?
There are 4 people in front of me right now.
Okay, well, I
You
wasn't
would
sure
like
whether
a
we were
horse?
hand wave Biggs and
Biggs is at the temple. He's not here. You 4 are there.
no.
You're
but
asking
Lauren's at
for-
the temple.
You're asking for 6. Yes. You 4.
Okay, so she Eva's counting on her fingers now, right? So Luz owns a horse. Cyrus needs a wagon, and we need 1 horse because I can't ride by myself. So we need what? We need to borrow 3, and Luz needs his.
And Hector looks at Esperanza and says, I thought these were decisive people.
Math is not my
Tell
strong suit.
me, how many horses do you need? These horses are worth as much as houses, so tell me now and do not dissemble further. You want
3 horses.
3 horses.
Yes, senor.
1 for each of you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you got one big enough for him.
He draws it. Of course I do. He draws a long sword from its scabbard at his waist, a big long sword, shimmering and shining in the light, clearly very expensive and lovely. And he places the sword blade down and holds the hilt out to the 3 of you. And he says, gets very close to, as close as he can to all 3 of your faces while still remaining equidistant, and says, I want you all to vow on your life
and your mother and your blood, that you will give your life before you let my horses die.
Oh, here we go again.
Do you vow?
Am I still holding it on?
Do
Go
you
ahead,
vow?
Yes, vow. Everyone vow, please. Let's
I
get
vow.
out
I
of here.
vow. I put my hand on the sword. I vow. 100%. I don't want to duel again.
Luna?
Gracias por tu hospitalidad, pero yo voy a caminar.
Okay, Luna, what are you doing?
Contemplating if it's worth all of this trouble not to just go and rent something.
Just vow. They're great horses. Everything will be fine. Just vow.
Okay.
Cyrus has said he's just gonna walk, just so you know.
Well, Lord Hector said that he had a horse that was big enough for a gift.
Cyrus stops again and he looks at Esperanza and then at Luz and he says,
I thought you said these were decisive people. I am about to give them horses the size of the worth of houses. And they cannot tell me if they vow. This is your last chance. You have 6 seconds. Do you vow?
I said I was going to walk, and that was decisive.
Very good. You have decided.
I put my hand on the sword. I vow right away, 100%. As I'm handing the rapier back to Luz after like maybe wiping the blood off on my cloak.
Luna, what are you doing?
Cyrus is my ride.
Okay, so you say no as well. So Ava, honestly, is it deception or the truth?
To what? Oh no, it's the truth.
You're vowing to place your life over the life of the horse, in all honesty.
It's absolutely the truth that I do exactly what you said, which is to place the value of my life over that of the horse.
And Hector looks at you very close and he says,
so you are vowing that you will die before this horse dies. Yes, as long as you have it in your care.
Yes, I promise.
okay, and I don't need to ask you for a deception roll because it's a real vow.
Don Hector, with all due respect, my
Yes,
friend
it's a
has
real
said
vow. It's a
yes
vow. It's a
many
vow.
times now.
100% sure. Yes.
And okay, so Ava places her hand on the sword, and then Hector puts his hand on top of your hand, and then Hector says,
I will give you our finest battle stallion, and you will die before you let harm come to her. Him. Lo siento, es que inglés no es mi primera lengua. Muy bien. You vow to die before our
I
horse.
feel like I just signed a contract without actually being able to understand the language it was written in.
It's very simple.
She's just 100%.
It is one sentence in English. You will die before the horse takes death.
Yes.
and all right, so you vow, and Hector says,
The vow has been made, your honor, for this horse's life. Come to the stables.
and Hector and Esperanza start to lead the group of you or whoever's going towards the stables. Everybody going?
Sure.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we will all go.
All right.
My
you
goodness,
head
that
up-
was quite a production to only get one horse, my friends. Why did we not all take a horse?
Hector looks over his shoulder at you guys and wonders about your indecision among the ranks. And you walk through this beautiful Mediterranean villa. There are large vases, plants coming out of things, beautiful wooden furniture, fruit baskets everywhere. And you are led out the back door and to some stables. Large open air stables with many horses in them. Luz's horse is among them. And these are the finest specimens of horse flesh that anyone could hope to see. If anyone had any expertise with horses, you would see that all of their proportions are correct, that these are the absolute top of the line of horse genetics right here. Big, strong, fast riding, fast moving, delicious horses. And Luz, your horse looks at you with recognition and a slight happiness. And Ava, you are led to a very large, powerful horse, almost the size of a Clydesdale, but more of a battle stallion.
Luce, you're gonna have to help me get on this horse.
Yes, everything will be fine. I am absolutely dying inside.
And Hector says,
This
This is
horse,
just very beautiful.
this horse, his name is Flechas, and he likes to be called by his name. Every night you will pet him and pick his hooves. You must always check to make sure he does not have things stuck in his hooves.
Sorry, what was the horse's name?
Flechas.
Lord Hector? Sorry.
Flechas.
It
Ventas?
means flechas. It means arrows.
Yes.
Does he like to be called? Can he be called the translation? Don
Wait,
Hector?
you're not telling me that this horse attracts arrows.
No, he's fast. He's swift as an arrow. Of course.
Oh, he's swift as an arrow. He's not
Yes.
going to get hit by arrows because I
Or-
just swore my
Don't
life that
talk about him getting hit by arrows, please. Let's get out of here.
Looks at
Get on
you
this
very
horse.
closely and says,
Are you insulting my horse and my
Oh, here
horse?
we go again.
name?
no, Lord Hector. I just want to
This
make
horse
sure
is worth 27 of you. You
Oh
are
my-
insulting my horse.
he may be worth 27 of me.
I will
But
not let this
there's-
horse go with you if you will shoot him with arrows.
No, it is
Do
simply
you speak the English?
it is simply a
Oh, boy.
mistranslation,
Oh, no.
my friend. Senor, it is
It's a
simply
very
a
beautiful horse. It's a
You
very
will
beautiful-
leave my home now.
mistranslation.
Goodbye.
he pulls his long sword out and he holds it over his head and he says,
Leave my home immediately.
Yes, we are
Guard!
leaving, senor. Let's go.
Guard!
Let's go. Everyone
see
leave.
a bunch of
We
guards
will
coming
just
up.
walk. Everyone, let's go.
Luce, never come back here, Luce.
Okay,
You are out of here. Goodbye.
I will take my horse with me.
Do you speak of the English? Do you speak of the death? I will kill you.
And a bunch of guards come up, a bunch of guards all in red and black and gold, and they say, and they loom on you, and they're big and they're looming. And Hector says,
Kill this woman if she does anything else but leave our property immediately. Kill her dead.
Okay.
and
Can
the horse Flechas kind of laughs at you.
Oh, he's actually coming with us?
No, he's
No,
in the
he's
stable and he's going. And the guards attempt to escort you all off the property.
I just want to get the fuck out of here.
Yes, please. Everyone come along with me.
Luce, your family has issues. I thought my family had issues, but no, your family has issues.
You
So,
do not know the half of it, my friend.
I just want to say something out of game. You know, we have the player guidelines are very clear that you need to be careful what you say in front of whom, that people will hear you. So there are times to make jokes and there are times not to. And while you're standing in front of a person, you don't want to actually make that joke because that person can hear you. But this is a real world and you're interacting with real people and you already know what these people's personalities are like. So if that guy hears you say to him, "Do you speak the English?" That is the only logical reaction he's going to have. So you want to make your jokes in private, not in public. So yeah, the guards attempt to escort you off the premises. Do you all leave?
With
Yes,
haste.
I am leaving.
Yeah, with
Quite
all
quickly,
due, with all
I'm
due
leaving.
haste.
I was ready to go right when we arrived. Like, this was way too nice of a place for comfort. Just
All right, you guys are now standing outside of the Anaranjado compound. Luz, did you leave your horse there, hoping to patch up your relationship later?
No, I have taken him with me now.
Okay, remind me his name.
I think initially I said it was going to be like Estrella, but I wanted to be Bolero.
Bolero.
See,
Solid. All right, so yeah, after you're removed and Hector is like, Luz, you are not welcome here for now. Take your horse. It costs us very much to feed her. You must spend time with less insulting friends. So you're standing outside holding your beautiful, elegant, amazing horse with your homies. And what are you all up to next?
Are we out of earshot of all anaranjados and their employees?
As far as you know, yeah.
Okay, very good.
You want to walk down the street like a block or so? It feels
Yes,
safer?
several blocks. Everyone stay quiet until we are well away from this place.
Yeah.
I just want to
So-
say that I was very glad that there was clarification on the name because I really thought you named that horse after a fart.
What?
I really thought you said flatulence at first, and I got concerned. I
Oh,
was
that
like, why
is
would
not
you?
that is not my horse. That is Don Hector's horse.
It does not matter anymore.
Yes.
There's a bit of
It might as well be a fart in the wind for all it helped us
That's
today.
exactly what it is.
That's right.
You know, perhaps it was a blessing of the gods today because all this situation needed was Biggs.
Yeah, he would have said something crazy too. Yeah.
Yes. That one was on me, everyone. I very much.
I'm so
No,
sorry.
no.
Luis.
No. All of you were wonderful. That was on me, and it is okay. Everything will be fine. He will calm down in a few days.
It's
and
it's been
everything
a
will be
long time since I've been around any kind of noble families, and I did not. I mean, obviously, you met her in jail, so she's not the most well-spoken lady. She's been in the woods for a long time.
You are perfect. The my people's blood runs very hot, and sometimes I forget that. Yes.
Maybe
please
next
accept
time.
my apologies for putting you all in such a situation.
If we do go back, I will promise I will stay outside.
That is probably for the best. Yes.
Yes.
Now, is that your blood on your clothes or is that her blood?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest.
Do you need to be healed, my friend?
Well, I wouldn't mind a little. Oh, yes, maybe some bandages.
I just reach over and touch her.
Oh,
And
how many paladins do we have?
I am just a simple bard, but you have 9 points of health back for whatever that means.
Gracias.
Now, real quick, just out of curiosity, what does your magic look like and how does it differ from Eva? Or, yeah.
So Eva's lay on hands would have just been a slight glow, but I was trying to stealthily do it in the hand that was underneath her as I was catching her. I wasn't, like doing a whole holy thing over top of her.
Right.
I don't know
what did your magic look like, Luce?
Oh, I do not believe I have ever thought of it before. Probably doesn't look like anything. Probably just feel a warmth passing from my hand into wherever I touched you. And things just sort of heal up.
Anything particularly bardic about the way you do your magic?
I have not put any thought into that. Probably, yes. I hum a little tune as I do it.
Sweet. So, out of game,
I whistle, actually. I whistle a tune.
Out of game, I know that was very intense with those people, but that is what those people are like. It's not like any special treatment on Ava or anything. Like they get in the duels at the drop of a hat. So yeah.
I think it's fine that Ava didn't know how to. He was in your face, and I'm fine. I didn't know how to deal with it, but I'm fine with Ava not knowing how to deal with him as well. So she got in a fight, and they gave her a horse, and then they took the horse away, and that's kind of part and parcel for her life right now. So.
Look, out of character, I thought you both played your characters and the situation so perfectly. And look, I know we what Kyle was saying is we might have regrets and let's just get the fuck out of here and this went too long or whatever. I have to really applaud both of you because I thought you both played the situation really well. You played your characters really well. You played the interactions very well. John, I'm also kind of a sneak in a joke guy, and I've actually been called out on this by Jake before as well, which is why I have to watch my jokes as well. So like it's been like he's like, no, they heard that. I'm like, oh fuck, because So I loved this interaction. I love the way the both of you did. I hope there's no hard feelings about this.
No,
Because
it's just a horse.
You both dialed this situation up to 11, and it blew up. But in the house of a hot Spanish blood, this was it. This was really really good. So no one take away regrets from this because it was really really good.
No,
Right, and even though,
Go ahead.
yeah, even though I've been kind of quiet through it, that was a little bit of role playing as well, being uncomfortable, not wanting to talk in such a fancy area. But yeah, I do not have any regrets about that. That was phenomenal.
I think Eva regrets opening her mouth.
Characters can have regrets, but not the players.
Oh yeah, I know.
So if I would like to do something with Luna, for just a couple of minutes, would you guys to let this situation
take all the time you want.
Yeah, just for a couple of minutes. So Luna's on my shoulders, and we were walking down wherever we're going, and we kind of dropped to the back so we can have a quiet conversation.
So I got upsies again.
Yeah, you're up. So, and we're having quiet conversation, and I'm going to do a little lore here, and it's Luna. That was very. I was caught there, and I didn't, and I want to tell you why. It's because, as I told you, I am from the land of Kanyamo, and Kanyamo is by the sea. It borders the sea, and I come from the lowlands. And if you ever get the opportunity to go to Kanyamo, you might think, there's no one here. There's just these sea creatures and these water creatures. There's a couple of things you need to understand about Kanyamo. About 80% of the beings in Kanyamo live under the water. So if you go and you look, you might not see anything. You might not see anybody. You might think this is just a swamp, just a dirty swamp. Why the fuck would anybody live here? And Kanyamo has more goring foot than meets the eye. And in fact, the one reason I was torn, and I haven't mentioned this in front of the others, is my country of Kanyamo has tension with Rocinante, and it's a very subtle tension, and it's playing out very oddly in this dynamic at this moment in that house of them and with the party with Luz. You see, Rocinante likes to pride itself on being very democratic, and look at us, we're the light of the world of democracy. But one thing you may have seen today is they can be, what is the word, imperialistic. And they live on a land, if you look at the map, it's mostly landlocked. And they need access to shipping channels. They need access to the water. They need access. They're landlocked. They can't get anywhere. So they can have all the riches and the democracy in the world, but it's isolated. And what we're learning is they're making moves towards Rocinante, but from Rocinante to Kanyamo, to try to take more and more of the land away from us. These lowlands that nobody wants, right? And what you need to know is, I'm caught between my friendship with Luz in Rocinante and her being from Rocinante, and the fact that her country, maybe even unbeknownst to Luz, is trying to displace the undesirable lowlands of Kanyamo so they can have access to the sea. I was quiet back there because if I would have said something, I was going, the rallying cry to inspire them in the duel that comes out of my mouth would have been Conquistadora, because they are conquerors in my mind, and I bit my tongue and I did not offer any guidance in there because I that situation was already flammable, and I didn't want to inflame it anymore by putting those words out of my mouth. I just wanted to explain my silence back there, and I felt you might understand.
Can she tell if this is purely just explaining from anxiety or more of a saddened explaining? Or do I need to roll insight for that?
I'll just. You would be able to tell that I'm caught.
Yeah.
That I'm between forces, a love for my country and a love for my people and a genuine appreciation for Luz. But there's tension. There's political tension between Rocinante and Canyamo. They are democratic, but they are expanding, and they need access to the sea. And as you can see, when their blood gets up and they get convinced of something, all reason might go out the window.
Right.
And the lowlands of Canyamo, poor, swampy, kind of beachlands, but marshland. Like, you may not see that there, but there's a lot of people there that depend on that. That's their home. And I guess what you're taking away is that Cyrus is conflicted because of his friendship with Luz and her being from Rocinante, but this political tension between our homelands.
In that moment, hearing all of the emotion behind all of it, she would kind of hug the top part of his head a bit and just, I've never really had friends. This is all new for me as well. And I understand being caught between things. Um, I'm gonna say in that moment you can tell her something more that she wants to say but isn't. Um, and just, but hopefully we can just stay together, and we can work through this. And if I've learned anything living on the back roads of society, um, not everybody's what they seem, and not everybody is who their parents are. And I don't know, there's something about this group. I feel like you're not the only one that's conflicted and caught in between things. And I really do appreciate you sharing that with me. It sounded really hard. And I'm sure there's more you want to say, but like many of us, we can't exactly share everything right now. Um, can you promise me something?
Hey,
If we ever go to your homelands, will you teach me how to swim?
for a seafaring man like me, it would be an honor. And if you ever go and you need those swimming lessons, just invoke my name, and you'll be welcomed as one of us.
She'll squeeze his head a little bit tighter, obviously not choking him out or nothing, just kind of squeeze him a little tighter and just kind of whisper, "Thank you."
And with that, we skitter back up to the group.
So while that in conversation is going on, I want to Luce wants to turn to Ava and say, I know that Don Hector values his horses greatly, but did you know that when he lets them out to pasture, they become prize-winning horses? Did you know this?
Eva doesn't understand what that means.
They become prize-winning horses, my friend, because they are outstanding in their field. It is just a little joke I do.
That I appreciate you easing the tension. That duel was not something that I wished for. She left me no choice, but I hope I hope you were able to repair relations with your family
Oh,
when we get back.
I appreciate that. I believe it would be easy to repair, and if not, it would not be the worst thing in the world.
Are
But
you are they closely related to you, or like
I,
distant cousins?
yes, let's say they are distant cousins to me. But you fought well today, and I was quite impressed with your handling of the sword.
I
I
appreciate you loaning me the sword. I don't think I could have won without it.
must admit I was fearful for you, my friend. But now I will know not to underestimate you.
Well, I hope the road ahead isn't fraught with peril for sure. Although I mean, to be honest, I am glad that I don't have to die for a horse.
Oh, that is true. That is very true.
It was a very beautiful horse, and it looked very capable, but
although I do expect you to protect Bolero as if he is another member of the party.
As long as you're not expecting a blood oath, I will be happy to do what I can.
Very well. And I was just joking. He is just a horse. Do not put yourself in danger for him.
I think she would. Or you would get the impression that she was sincere, that she would maybe not give her life for the horse, but she would do everything she could to protect your horse.
So what's the plan now, guys? Are we planning on getting a cart?
It's only a few days. I mean, after all the trouble we've been through, I'm. Well, you're from here. I mean, how do people normally? It's a village. They must bring their sheep to market. They must. I assume they herd the shepherds bring the sheep. They walk. There must be campsites along the way. It must be at least a fairly well-traveled road. I don't think we're delving too deep into like the jungle. Oh, what's going on? Oh, there we go.
The road.
Oh, look at that map.
You go out the western gate, you go through the farmland, you go into the forest. The road goes north through the forest to Krintatala and beyond. This, your characters would know, at least one or two of you.
Yeah, I'm assuming if we are going to walk and it is going to take us a few days, are we all set to, make camp for the night? Everyone's got a bedroll, maybe some water. I've been in the woods for a number of years. I'm fairly proficient at, finding berries and bits to eat.
So before we leave town, since the rest of the party is going to be on foot, rather than dragging a horse around with us from place to place, Luz might like to find a stable or livery where she could board the horse until she returns back to Elenia Toth.
Sure. Yeah, you can put it in a spot for 1 gold a night. You can find a place that feels pretty safe in the travelers district.
I'll
and-
pay 10 gold so that hopefully I'm back in 10 days.
All right. Yeah, so you get that handled at a reputable establishment. You guys ready to start walking?
The open road is ahead.
Oh, what time of day is it? It's still mid-afternoon? Yeah, I guess, we should be able to make a few miles before we have to set up camp for the night. It's probably like what, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
You You went to the tavern at noon, yeah?
It was 1 p.m. when we got there.
Yeah, so 4 o'clock sounds about right by now. So if y'all are ready to set out, you're gonna get this hike on the road.
On the road again.
Yeah. So you all head out. Oh, do I still have my city map? I like talking about the city map. Oh yeah, there's the stop sharing. And then we got, see if the city map is up somewhere. There it is. All right. And we share again. Share, always be sharing. That's what I say. Let's see. Okay. All right. So you guys head out of the Nobles Quarter. You head south through the Travelers District, where a lot of people stop off and stay in taverns and stuff. And that is where Luz puts her horse at a very reputable stable for the high price of 1 gold a night, but that price buys safety and security for the very valuable and beautiful Bolero. You walk through the chop and through the shopping district of the chop, past the Tamerwin compound where the inscrutable and aloof Tamerwins be studying they texts. You walk past the workshop where electricity shoots between Tesla coil-esque things, and you look at the open plan of a building that looks like the Bradbury Building in Los Angeles, with a lot of cast iron and multiple floors. There are people in leather aprons working at tables. You pass south, taking you closer to where people live who work in the docks, and passing north past the college, the Mage College and the library there. This is the temple district here with lots of temples. And you head out the western gate, and past the western gate is a whole lot of farmland. And as the sun begins to set, you get to the edge of the farmland. There are a lot of farms around the city because it takes a lot of food to feed this medieval near metropolis. And so it's almost like there are multiple villages outside the city with these farms. Some stretches that you walk through are large open fields with scarecrows in them. Some of the fields have workers in them. And then other places that you walk as you go through this farmland include crossroads and almost little villages, places where people trade and such. And you walk through there, and as the sun begins to set, you get into the woods, and the woods have sort of a New England woods vibe with birches and maples and the like, set 3 or 4 feet apart from each other. In some areas, there's a lot of brambles and such that make it really hard to see through the woods. And others it's more open. But luckily for you, you have this nice hard packed road that as you travel on it, sometimes you can make out pieces of old flagstones that are sort of buried under the dirt in this at times 5 feet, at times 10 feet wide road. It hints at this road having been used for a very long time. And by the time you get to about here, where this little box is, it's getting pretty dark. You know, it's late summer in this world, so around 8:30, the sun is setting. It's getting pretty dark along the road. And what are you all up to?
After a while, Luna would probably ask to get down and walk herself because she doesn't want to wear him out or make him super sweaty. um, but she's kind of just following the group's lead at this point. Not no like she hasn't really been out of the city much at all, so and not really sure what to do and just following everybody else's lead.
I definitely feel a lot more comfortable out here than I did in the city.
Is it always this quiet?
It seems quiet, but if you listen carefully, you can hear stuff all around you. The birds and the animals and the wind through the trees. You just have to learn to listen.
How are you supposed to go to sleep without hearing people yelling in the streets? Like it just completely dumbfounded.
I can challenge someone to a duel if you would like to fall asleep to that.
Speaking of which, since it's been a few hours, Eva is curious. So now that I've won now that she's kind of, the stress is kind of worn off from that very, very stressful encounter. So now that I've actually won my first duel, does that mean I'm an adult now?
Felicidades, mi amiga. Yes.
Cool.
I'm a big kid now.
Takes off the diaper. Sorry, that was a joke. There's no other NPCs around. So I did not literally take off a diaper.
So it's
It'd be more like a bucket.
dark. It's starting to get pretty dark as you're walking along this road.
Should we maybe find someplace off of the path to set up camp for the night? Or
we are in your element, my friend. We will follow your lead.
What is this smell I'm smelling?
Who wants to make a survival
fresh air?
roll?
Sorry, who wants to make what?
A survival roll.
I actually I was going to use my background feat to try and scrounge up some food.
Okay. Is that Wanderer?
Yes, which doesn't have a roll. It just says I can find, berries and food for myself.
Yeah,
and up to
Wanderer is a very powerful feature, which lets you always know which way is north. So
Oh yeah, it's got a maps and geography thing. I totally forgot about that.
And where berries and shit are. So you are definitely able to find berries and shit.
Yeah, berries and water and maybe some shrubs. I'm gonna try and avoid the shit. And just stick with the berries and maybe any like wild blackberries or anything I can find, maybe some mushrooms. I'm not a hunter. I can't find meat. Maybe if someone else wants to see if they can get a rabbit or something like that for dinner. And her stomach rumbles. And we should also probably have somebody find a good spot for a camp.
Yeah, so if someone wants to make a survival roll regarding a place to camp, you may.
Luna has definitely been looking around, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do that.
Can I help and give her advantage on that?
You may.
What was it? Survival?
And Ava, a small game is also included in the language of the Wanderer feature. So you could find a little.
It is, but she doesn't carry like a bow or anything like to make a snare, and so she's just gonna stick with fruits and mushrooms and stuff that doesn't take long to prepare.
So Luce and Luna, you find a nice little spot to set up camp that feels defensible and hidden from the road and comfortable too. a mossy ground and some cliffy raised ground around it, so that people are not going to see you, and you feel like it's a pretty good spot to camp out. And Ava returns with a smorgasbord of nature's bounty, and y'all are ready for the best things in life.
Luna is gonna throw herself into a bit of a sneezing fit and be like, "What is this air? Where's the smog and the smell of urine? Just, ugh, why is it so clean?"
And a little squirrel hops down next to you, Luna, and looks up at you.
She's like, "I don't like it."
It runs away.
If you want smelly smog, you should talk to our friend Cyrus over there. Cyrus over there.
Why would you
Ooh.
come to me for smog?
He has quite the talent when it comes to smog.
Oh,
The word is fog, not
Oh,
smog. There's quite
sorry.
the difference.
It is a language thing. I apologize, my friend.
Neblina.
Hopefully it becomes easier. It's weird. It's like my chest is lighter. Like I can get a full breath. Are your lungs supposed to be this full? Like
you've been given it, by the time, I think, a few days out of the city might actually, it'll do you good.
just,
And perhaps one day you'll get the salty sea air in those lungs and see how that feels as well.
Then we'll all be coughing. Yeah.
Is the squirrel still hanging out near Luna?
It ran up a tree when she sneezed,
Ah, okay.
but you could probably make it out way up the top branch of a tree there. You wanted to do something with it.
I was gonna throw a dagger at it, but if it's all the way up a tree, I'm not going to.
This is your stomach rumbling too.
I'll be all right, but a
You've
little
got a-
meat never hurt anyone.
You've got a veritable smorgasbord of vegetarian delight laid out in front of you. The dagger you'd have disadvantage throwing it up into a tree. Yeah, so let me know what y'all are doing before a long rest if you're taking one.
Well, I mean, Eva's rather glad, honestly, that she doesn't have to take care of that 8-foot tall beast. Considering she has, very little. It's like she hasn't really been around horses since she was like young. So I think she's just going to set up her bedroll and munch the fruit and maybe take out her the painting supplies she bought in town and just sit with her back against the tree and just start doodling.
Cyrus is walking around the camp, looking, trying to make sure it's secure and offering to take the watch. Now he's in an interesting scenario in that he has no dark vision but blind sight within 10 feet. So I'm very good. I'm very good with what's up in front of my face, but beyond 10 feet, I'm just staring out into the dark.
The reason I mentioned the dagger is that once camp is set up, Luce is going to take 3 daggers out and practice juggling with them.
Would you like 4? You can borrow mine.
Well, I am still not very good at 3, and I'm afraid
Okay.
4 would cause a loss of a finger.
Okay.
But thank you for offering, my friend.
Roll sleight of hand, Luce.
Okie dokie. Oh, yes, that is a 17.
You successfully cut yourself not.
Yes, excellent.
Luna, after all of this peopling she's been doing all day, which is very out of her norm, she's gonna separate herself from the group just a little bit, not like away from the group, still in sight, still generally close, but in a little private-ish area. And she's gonna work on doing. She's gonna work on let me say hi. On changing Comet into an owl or a hawk or something like that to spend that time kind of just with her pet.
How far away are you from the group? Like would
Within
we
earshot.
would we oh so okay, never mind. I was gonna ask if we would have seen Comet, but or it would we have seen Comet? Like, does he sit on your shoulder when you're traveling, or does he like sit
Yeah.
in a bag? Okay, so he said, never mind.
But he does kind of hide a bit into my hair, so that sometimes it might seem like
Sure.
he's not there at all.
No, I
but
was just
he's-
wondering if we
Yeah.
should ask about it, but yeah, no, that's fine.
But I'll work on doing that little ritual and
So, what are you doing mechanically, Luna? You said you're doing
changing Comet from a mouse to a hawk or an owl. I think her option is a hawk, but I would like to do an owl if I could.
flavor. You can play an owl that is flavored as anything you want.
Okay.
You can also play a hawk. The hawk is awesome, but doesn't have flyby. So, you can play an owl that's flavored as a hawk, or an owl that's flavored as a mouse. You can play.
Oh, so like an owl stat sheet, but it will RP like a hawk, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So let me know what you want mechanically and what you want it to be flavored as.
Well, in the city, something small and inconspicuous is very helpful. So if it's always Comet's always been a mouse because that's just easier. But out in these woods, she's not as confident as this is a very different environment, and she always likes knowing what's around her. And in the city, she knows signals and knows how to see what's around her. So I think she will mechanically and visually turn Comet into an owl, but not necessarily like a big owl, just like a little owl.
Yeah, and I look forward to finding out more about what that owl looks like, because I bet
Solid white, just
Awesome.
like Comet was.
sweet. All right, so you're off doing that. That'll take you about an hour. With a little brazier, dropping things in a brazier and chanting over it. Not a brazier, but a brazier. A brazier.
I've always said brazier. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Brazier
Uh,
definitely is.
yeah, dropping
Pull it
Dropping
right out.
things into your brazier.
Braziers are very versatile. You can use them for many things.
You don't use these
Coconuts
at
in
your
a brazier, you got yourself a sling.
That's
It'll
right.
burn your brazier. So anybody do anything else before you go to sleep?
Perhaps
Go ahead.
I was just chanting sleep. Go ahead.
perhaps we should take turns to keep an eye on things in the night.
Give
I'll
me
be happy to take a watch.
give me 3 watches, first, second, and third. Who wants them? 1.
Yeah, I'll do one.
I will take second.
I can
All
do
right.
Luna's
third.
on edge, so she'll definitely either help somebody or be
Oh.
out by herself.
Oh, we can take a watch together.
Okay.
All right. So Cyrus 1, Luce 2, Ava and Luna 3. And let me know anything else that you're doing mechanically with your long rest. If you guys are changing anything, preparing anything, you can also chat it to me if you want to be a super secret. But otherwise, I will assume you to be fully recharged. And we'll move into taking the watches. I'll be doing this a little bit differently. I do it differently every time I do it, but for these watches, I'll have Cyrus roll me a d20, see what happens on your watch.
$11.
Nothing much of interest happens on your watch. And Luce, roll me a d20 to see what happens on your watch.
19.
Your watch is fucking sick. You best watch.
Ogres attack the camp.
You do the best watch you ever anybody could do. Nobody's gonna sneak up on you. And Ava or Luna roll 2d20s, and we'll take the higher of the two.
Go ahead.
Just a straight D20, or do you want to do
Yeah.
perception?
Yeah, it's just two d20s.
Okay. Or maybe I should have rolled that separately.
Well,
well.
thanks to the safety of the spot that you found to camp and the relative quiet of the woods and the nearness to the city, nothing too crazy happens overnight. And you wake refreshed at 6 a.m. The sun rising over the pines and the birches and the maples. Rays of God coming through the trees, prismatically catching the light as small mosquitoes and gnats move through it, as well as just floating motes in the air, and things are rather idyllic this morning. And
Well,
so,
Luna is definitely going to get all of her stuff and compact it back into her bag, what little things she actually took out of it to be able to sleep. And probably not even mention or anything about Comet changing, just as if it was normal.
Is he like perched up in a tree or something like that, right? Like he's not, you don't have an owl hiding in your hair.
Yes, there is an owl hiding in my hair.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hiding so we can't see it, or just like peeks out from time to time?
It owl being a little bit bigger, you would probably see it all the time because it would push her hair a bit out of the way, but still on her shoulder, where Comet normally would be, kind of in the nuzzle of her neck.
all right. Anybody do anything else before you get ready to set out?
Do we hit the long rest button now, or did I normally just wait for the DM to say we
You
can hit
have
it?
taken a long rest.
Okay. I didn't want to assume.
You'd make a butt out of me and me. Is everybody ready to set out? All right, we're gonna take a break. Normally we'd be about 35 minutes away from the end of our session. I expect us to play for another hour. We're gonna take a break as I set up a water slide, because there's actually a water park in this forest. I'm just kidding. But it'll be about a 7-minute break. So eat some tacos, enjoy. I'll see you in a couple minutes. What's up, Allison?
What's up?
How about them bosses that work there?
It is what it is.
I mean, you got those swords behind you.
Yeah, I actually got these swords at the Tennessee Renaissance Festival. I got them ending of middle school, and I saved up money all year long to be able to go 1 year to get this and then next year to get this.
Hmm. Are those kind of real workable swords?
Um, I personally wouldn't, but you can. This one, my reasoning for saying no is because the handle itself is three different pieces, and you can work them apart because it's one side of the handle, the other side of the handle, and then there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a ball up here that a dragon claw is holding on to. So if you, it could, I haven't experienced doing that because it's a whole unscrew kind of thing. So I wouldn't with that one. That one is a bit more practical because it's one solid piece, but it has these like horn things that go towards your hand. So you would have to be very stiff handed with it. And that's to each their own.
To
I
each
wouldn't
their
want to get
own.
stabbed.
But swords are fun. So, if we're ready, we can come on back to the game. What kind of snack do I want? I think I want
Cheez-Its.
a Quest bar. I need something that's not actually laden with calories because I already had an Oreo shake today. Whew! The utmost sin. Do they have Jack in the Box in Australia, David? You're muted, but
No, not Jack in the Box. No, but Burger King, McDonald's. I
But they
saw
don't call Burger
I saw
King Burger King.
it's
They call
Hungry
it
Jack's. That's right.
HJ's.
That's right. I saw Carl's Jr. the other day for the for the California people. I saw Carl's Jr.
I actually went to a Carl's Jr. here in Edmonton a few weeks ago. I wasn't really a fan. I'm not a big fan of like the flame grilled fast food burgers, to be honest.
Isn't it still Hardee's in Australia?
No, I saw Carl's Jr. the other day for sure.
Hmm.
It was funny. Starbucks failed miserably here. This is a very this is a culture that really appreciates good food and good coffee, especially. And I tell a story where I was living in Sydney. There was a Italian cafe, open air. You know, the doors open, so you're just right out on the street. Barely any tables, no chairs. The chairs were milk crates. You know, didn't have a creature comfort in the world, but had been there for 50 years, and it was where people went to go get their coffee. Starbucks opened 3 doors down with booths and free Wi-Fi and everything like that. Starbucks lasted 6 months, and then
Wow.
they pulled out, and it was and they really shut down mostly in Australia. McDonald's tried to do the same thing of just kind of cut and paste what they did from America, and it was failing. They pioneered the McCafe, which is more of fresh food and handmade coffee here. They really retooled for the local market, and they did that because they were failing in Australia, and now they're doing well here. And I think they've copied the concept that they innovated here in the rest of the world, kind of more fresher food and coffee and espresso shots and things like that. So it's an interesting thing.
What's the name of the chicken place? Is it Red Rooster? Do y'all have Red Roosters there, or is that a Perth thing? I miss me my my chicken salt fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, let's get into it. Let's do this. I got my Quest bar, 0 sugar, but it tastes like chocolate chip. Eva.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So y'all wake up like motherfuckers. You wake up in the morning Son, I described it. You're ready to go. And you start walking north on this road with a mind to head north of Krinthatala to find the camp that Fia's followers are in.
Hey, Cyrus.
Aye.
What's that symbol on your clothes?
These are the starters. And a lot of people worship a lot of things, but I don't necessarily have a belief in a higher power. My higher power is the heavens. My higher power, a lot of people have a believe in a higher power that lives in the heavens, and my higher power is the heavens and the stars and the constellations. And it's spending many nights on the open sea, just staring into the stars and wondering what lies beyond them, and kind of feeling a little bit of the power that comes from them. So a lot of people do believe in a lot of different things, and I can believe in what I see. And right now, as the morning breaks, I look up into the heavens, and I wonder what's out there as I'm either floating on the boat or walking in through this forest with you. It's just a reminder to there's always something bigger than us. And when I look up in the heavens, that's what I'm reminded of.
She'll kind of look down at her clothes, realizing she has no symbol, and just been like, "Oh, like."
You continue on this hard-packed road through the trees for a couple hours, continuing to go on north.
Cyrus would be kind of on point. It's daylight, so he can see, and he would definitely be kind of at the on point of the group.
On point, watching out, looking for stuff.
Luna would be distracted by everything because this is such a new environment that anything that moves, she will immediately just be like, "What is that?"
You see a squirrel again. Is it the same squirrel from last night, or is it a different squirrel?
She'll kind of like poof up and rear up like a cat kind of thing, just be like, "No, like don't touch."
I think as we're walking as well, maybe Eva would be like keeping a lookout for berries and maybe talking to Luna and be like, those you can eat, stay away from those. Those are bad. That'll make you itch. Those mushrooms are good. Don't eat those mushrooms. You will, unless you have a bucket, you will not have a good time.
So wait, these mushrooms I eat, these berries I don't eat.
The small red ones, no, don't eat those. You can throw those at people you don't like.
Do they hurt when you throw them?
Oh, they might itch a bit. Maybe slip them into their down the back of their there we go.
So you gather some berries that people might disenjoy.
Possibly, hopefully.
Yeah, what are those little red ones that give you cramps? I mean, I'm sure there's hundreds, but yeah, don't eat those. Although if you were so inclined to slip them into someone else's food or drink, that would not be nice.
See, I don't think I've ever had mushrooms. Like, why would you eat a mushroom?
They go really good on oh, they go great in a stew. Mushrooms, potatoes, a little bit of rabbit. I love mushrooms. Plus, they're all over the place, and they're free.
Not in the city.
I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you could probably find some in that cave we were in.
So Cyrus is on point on the front of the group as y'all are walking and talking. And Cyrus catches sight of something down the road about 300 feet away. From a distance, it looks like a bunch of lumps in the road.
I could hold up my hand and just stop the party and get their attention and just go with hand signals to alert them to the fact that there's something up ahead.
Luna will come up and try to give a high five.
I think Luna's like 5 feet.
Yeah,
Or
she's too
10?
short. She's jumping. She's jumping.
He's 8 feet with his hand up. He's dunking.
Yeah. Just feel like a rush of air near your armpit. Just
Eva will recognize the hand signal from her time, and she'll look, but I don't see anything. What's
Can I make out anything, Jake? Lumps in the road. That's very.
Yeah, now that
I'm guessing I need
you're
to get closer.
now that you're all looking, or some of you are looking, want to use high fiving. Now that some of you are looking, you all see lumps in the road about 300 feet ahead, shapes rounded in the road.
in the middle of the road? They kind of look like graves. Like, all right, how tall would they appear?
Well, this,
Like, are they dirt mounds from this distance? Can we tell, or
I think you're gonna have to get a little closer to see what it is.
Luna's gonna go into the tree line away from the road.
Yeah, I think I wave everybody to the tree line, and I'll. Not exactly. I'm not. Stealth is not my forte. But kind of walk up. Yeah.
I'll pull it. I have a shield under my cloak. I can walk up with you. I'm not stealthy either.
Perhaps I'd start to walk with purpose. That's the wrong description. Kind of pensively, up towards to see if I can see you without exactly trying to be stealthy, but without exactly trying to announce that I'm here.
So who's walking closer?
Luna will be
Cyrus,
walking closer, but within the tree line, trying to be stealthy and hide within the trees.
Okay.
and I think Cyrus and Eva are still on the road.
Okay, what's Luce doing?
Probably stay in the road as well.
You're wearing like a bright red cloak, right? Can you maybe turn that inside out, or does it, is it black on the inside or plaid? Oh no, it's plaid. Never mind. Actually, the plaid might be a little bit more disguising.
So as you get a little closer, you make out that it's a pile of dead animals. There's you're not necessarily close enough to make out what it is, because you're about maybe 150 feet away now. But you get the vibe that there are some very large dead animals and some medium-sized dead animals that are lying in the road.
What should we do? Should we go around?
Does the tree line open up at all in this spot so we could look to the left and the right of these dead animals? Thinking trap. Or is this a narrow road on a tree-lined thing where really you can't see into the tree line at an angle as such?
It's actually pretty difficult to see what's going on with the trees and inside the trees and stuff. It's all a lot of thick foliage, The canopy is thicker, making things a little shadier. And just overall, the forest is a little bit more thick at this point. You do see a little bit of water running across the trail in between you and this what look like dead animals.
It could be bandits. This is. I don't have a good feeling. And I am going to throw. For lore purposes, I'm not trying to hit anything. I'm going to throw one of my javelins up near the bodies. I'm not trying to hit or kill anything, just get it up there close to see if anything triggers.
Yeah, nothing much interesting happens.
So just, dead animals aren't. Something killed them, that's for sure. They didn't kill themselves.
Yeah, you can't
Luna,
really tell from where you are.
Luna kind of knowing trickery, and this seems like trickery, whether it be from a person or another animal, is gonna pull Comet out and let him kind of circle the area a bit within the trees, not necessarily going above, but not necessarily being in sight either. Um, and she's gonna kind of circle closer, but still trying to stay as stealthy as she can. And if at any moment she feels like she's not being stealthy enough, she will just stop completely in her tracks and just wait to see how the environment around her reacts.
Okay. You can give me a stealth roll. Not fantastic. So you're sending Comet up to look.
Yes,
All right.
within the trees.
So Comet gets closer and you can either use an action to look through Comet's eyes, or Comet can just tell you telepathically if he's within 100 feet of you. Which would you like to do?
I'll look through.
All right. So floating near the tree line, flying near the tree line, you see these you see this pile of dead animals, and you see a couple giant boars, like big. You see a few deer. You see some other stuff that you can't identify, kind of in a pile. And a couple of the animals have the meat stripped off of them and slash marks on them. And there is flies and the smell of death that your owl transmits to you as you look through his eyes.
How far am I away from the bodies?
Now, you haven't gotten any closer, and you don't know what the owl saw yet, so you're 150 feet.
150. That's fine.
So I'm only seeing piles of dead animals, a few alive animals, like the boars. No, they're also dead. Okay, so dead animals, and a few of them have been skinned, and some other objects I cannot identify.
Not skinned, the meat has been stripped off the bone on like half of the animal, and slash marks are on it.
Gotcha. Um, I guess at this point I would call Comet back and figure out where my companions are on the road. Because I did go further up than they did.
Jake, I know how you want us to tell us your intention. My intention is to get up within 60 feet. And then looking up towards the heaven and the stars for power, to be able to use my divine sense to do detect good and evil. I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of celestials, fiends, or undeads within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay. And so how close do you get?
60 feet.
All right. Yeah, you don't sense anything like that. So yeah, you don't sense anything like that. And yeah, there you are, about 60 feet from the pile of dead bodies, and from where you stand, you can make out various big giant animals that are all ripped apart, bloody and gutty. Some of them have big pieces taken off of them. What's Ava up to?
Sorry.
Well, Ava's right behind Cyrus, and she'll whisper up to him that the way the animals look, it's doesn't look like bandits. Are there any other creatures in these woods that could have done this?
I don't think I want to find out.
Ava, you spent some time in the woods.
On the other side of the country, yeah.
Yeah, but you're good with woods. You're wood good. Who else would be good with woods here? Pretty much Ava.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right, Ava, why don't you roll me a survival check? You don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe a closer look would help if y'all are still 60 feet away.
Yeah, loose after just kind of watching everybody kind of taking stock of the situation, just after a moment, just kind of shrugs and just walks right up to it.
And there is space to walk around the animals, the dead animals in the road. So you walk up to it and start walking around it. Give me a perception check, please.
As you're walking up, I think, well, at least Eva is behind you. I don't know if Cyrus, if you're following. Like, well, oh, here we go. Like, we're not going to stay 60 feet back if something jumps out at you. Is that
13.
okay?
All right. Anyone's welcome to follow me.
Yeah, I would not let her go out by herself.
Yeah.
So okay, so Luce is trying to is slipping around the bodies, and Cyrus is going with her.
Yes, absolutely.
And
I do want to take a look. Like, I don't want to skirt them too far. Like, I don't mind getting kind of close and like see if I can get a closer look at what it is that we're looking at there.
And where are Luna and Ava right now?
Eva's probably like 10 feet behind Cyrus.
Luna is staying within the tree lines, but keeping watch of making sure that she stays within the same vicinity as her friends, but also making sure something's not gonna like sneak up behind her in this very unfamiliar territory.
Okay, so Luce, as you make your way around the pile of bodies, you see something else about 120 feet ahead of you. At first, it's like a big brown shape, but As it comes into focus, you see the back of something that seems to be focusing on a tree. And as
Baby got back.
Luce walks around the bodies, along with that javelin throw that happened recently, this creature has a reason to turn around. And you see a 16-foot long, 9 feet tall at the shoulders, and 16-foot long dire bear with fucking saber teeth and all sorts of shit. And this bear turns around and sees you by its pile of food, and it roars. A nice, big, loud, creepy, scary bear roar. And only David can't hear the beautiful bear roar that's playing right now. And it starts galloping towards you like a horse, just swallowing up the ground under its feet with its clawed hands as its 16-foot frame makes for you like a hungry, hairy bullet. And that's where we'll end our session for today.
Dun, dun, dun.
On a little
bear
cliffhanger. A cliffhanger, if you will. All right. And let me get one more let me get a perception check from somebody who's feeling really perceptive.
I just made one, so somebody else roll.
Yeah, Luna, Cyrus. Oh, who ran? Cyrus, that's terrible. I'll just for the fuck of it, Luna, give me a nature check. Let's see if you roll high.
Nature?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
It's not the best option you could have gave me, but cool.
I know. Well, I'm usually pretty generous. All right. I'm not dispensing any other information about the bear right now. But it is clearly 16 feet long and 9 feet at the shoulder. And it is flying across the ground towards you hungrily. And that's where we'll pick up next session. We'll see what's going on with the other guys and how I'm gonna weave that in. But it'll be fun, whatever it is. And all right. So let's move to checkouts. Something you liked about the session, something you everybody, no one wants to listen to the session 0 music. Do you guys like that session 0 music?
It was fine. I just wanted to hear you. I like the sound of your voice better.
That's very sweet.
Oh, where was that flowery prose when I was in the Alejandro house?
Yeah, Hector wants your blood.
I always mute the music. It's nothing personal. It's nothing about every campaign. I just mute the music. I find it distracting.
No,
I do as well, especially because normally we do it over Discord and like people have different volumes, and I play with some people where you turn them up to 200% and you still can't hear them. So the music was good today though, and the bear roar was great.
Well, I always like this session 0 music for beginning and ending, but if people find it grating, I will choose a different sort of bookend music.
No, that's good.
All right. So we're gonna do checkouts. Oh, who currently has inspiration? One. All right.
I got it because of a lovely pun I did.
All right, so we're gonna vote for another person to have inspiration. I'm gonna say something you enjoyed about the session, something you enjoyed that another player did, any kind of feedback or random thoughts, and inspiration vote. And David, you're up.
I really look. I know the awkward tension in real life around the scene with the Anaranjados was fantastic, and I really liked the way that played out. I really want to give props to both Jake and John for fully committing to that moment. And yeah, it took an hour, but you know what? That was beautiful, and I thought that's what makes D&D is that impromptu awkwardness and commitment sometimes to situations. And so I thought that was great. Allison, I really enjoyed your character exposition as well. It's great getting to know and your character, and I love the way you play it. It's just I think you're a wonderful player, and I love your characters. My inspiration is for John for committing to the dueling scene and pushing through the awkwardness of the moment and the tension of the moment in both real life and in game, and then but channeling it all into the game and coming out through it. And Jake, I would give you inspiration, but I don't really want you to be re-rolling your damage rolls against us. But no, definitely for John, I love the commitment to that scene, and I thought it was that kind of awkward commitment is sometimes what makes D&D so great.
So inspo for John.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Kyle, you're next.
Yeah, agreed. I liked the interaction, the little short conversation between Luna and Cyrus. I thought that was fun. Both of you sort of playing out something and teasing us with a little bit of your backstory. And also you guys are you're just sweet. You're just a sweet little friendship, and I like it. But definitely agree with David on inspo to John for the same reasons. And yeah, overall, interesting session with learning about the Anaranjado family, getting to meet them.
Yeah. John, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, it was really uncomfortable because I did not want to duel. I did not want, to initiate combat or anything like that. But I do, I can't, for better for worse, I can't, do stuff that I don't think my character would do, right? Like I can't, yeah, sure, put the dagger to my hand. I used, like I said, I used to play a rogue who was not a nice person, and it was a fun character, but yeah, there was some tension there. So that's why I'm trying to play a good character. But no, my inspiration would, I really appreciate David, trying to keep me sane throughout that encounter, because it was yeah, it was pretty rough. But no, and Jake, obviously, I mean, your role play in that house was fantastic, right? And like you said, that's how that family is, and it was great, right? Like I loved Esperanza and all that is their hospitality. I thought that was really great. So yeah.
Heck yeah, bro. Allison, you're up.
In-game moment. I have so many. I really enjoyed Luce knowing the danger, saying to heck with it, we're gonna try it anyways, and then immediately being like, that was dumb. I love that. I loved how Ava was just like, I like the idea, but I'm not gonna let you cut me. Just and then it just escalating from there. It was wonderful. I also really loved Cyrus and his confession to Luna, and even feeling more comfortable with her than anybody else to be able to give her that information to separate her from the group a little bit, make her feel important to him. Like that was really nice. And then it I'm a little disappointed that I didn't video this like you are, because then I would put your face on a t-shirt with your scowl. It was phenomenal, and even though it did make you uncomfortable that we nagged you a little bit on it because it was just so wonderful, I love that you were able to just laugh it off and move on. That was really great. um who I would nominate to be able to get inspiration. um Hmm. I can't do what I did last time and give it to all of you. I have to choose. Um, I'm gonna say Ava, because that was rough, and obviously she's been through a lot and went through with it anyways. Even looked the danger right in its face and was just like, "Nah, you bleed first." Like, so I'm gonna say Ava.
All right, so John, Ava, you've got inspiration next time. So we got two players going into the next session with inspiration, and you're gonna need it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like it's gonna come in handy, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to the bear. So yeah, that was fun. I wasn't expecting Luz to want to go to the Anaranjado house. But so that was fun to sort of fill in their blanks a little more, because nobody's been to the Anaranjado's house before. So that was fun to fill them out. I know those two characters that you met, like I know them very well. And yeah, they that's how they act. So I think it was a good illustration of the fact that the characters can hear you, and it's just important to be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, let's go over here, and now I'm gonna whisper to my friend, the queen looks like a boob, because if she hears it, who knows what'll happen. But I again, I one of the places that this world came from was the idea of a city where everyone's ready to duel with each other. um and I really like that idea. And if anybody's interested, you Google German academic duels. Even just the images are crazy. Maybe I'll post one. But they did this all the way from the 1400s up till World War II. And there are pictures of World War II Germans with a scar on their face. And what would happen is they'd stand across from each other without moving, like toe to toe, and they'd rapier each other. And whoever got slashed is the one that lost. And so they would get slashed across their face. And there were women writing at the time that would say men who didn't have the scar on their face were not worthy to be married. Like you needed to participate in this sort of thing to be worthy. So I find it very interesting. And so it's fun when it actually gets to come up and be a part of what's going on. And yeah, I mean, if you guys had all sworn after that duel, if you guys had all sworn on your lives that you would die before your horses did, you guys would all have awesome horses. But it played out how it played out, especially that final insult. You were about to get that perfect horse, that really awesome horse. But yeah, that was fun. And yeah, I really like this party's role play, the Friday night games role play. I love the relationship between Luna and Cyrus. Love the relationship between Luna and Biggs. We'll find out what sort of covert situation he's on right now that we'll have him back next week.
He's already rescued the prince. We're playing catch up.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoy the role play from everybody. And so we'll see you next week, and we'll see what happens with this brr.
Bye.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good
Have
night,
a good
everybody.
night or weekend or long weekend in Canada. And I'll see you guys next week.
Peace.